I'm going to go through one more trade. It's the pre-earnings momentum diagonal with AI. And the rest you can just see how you do. You select from a drop-down menu, you select 3 years, you select from another drop-down menu, the portfolio, and you just check the ones you like, and TradeMachine will do the work for you. So first things first, we go to the drop-down menu, and this time we're choosing pre-earnings diagonal with AI. We're just selecting it and clicking load. Let's let TradeMachine load a single ticker. Doesn't matter what the ticker is. Let's do a 3-year backtest. We got it. And as the slide said, we would do it in tech first. So let's go ahead and go to portfolios and go to the Nasdaq 100. Now I've already let this load, so I'm going to move my screen over and show you the results. Okay, here's my screen where it's already done. You can see this is the Nasdaq 100, and this is this long diagonal. This is actually a 1 week trade, 1 week. The win rate is 60%, and in 1 week, the average trade has been 15.6% over the last 3 years in the entire Nasdaq 100. And you say, okay, before you talk to me anymore about numbers, what's going on? So the technical open is at the very bottom. We can click the technical open here. You can actually in TradeMachine just scroll down. It's right here. The stock is above the 50-day moving average, and one of our AI measures is above 1. Okay, scroll back to the top. And they say, well, when does this happen? Those are the technicals. When does it happen? It's actually a custom earnings timing. So I'll click custom earnings. This trade opens 14 days before earnings and closes at the latest 1 day before earnings. This does not take an earnings speculation. This is a pre-earnings speculation. It does not take earnings risk. There's no interest in taking an earnings risk or an earnings bet. That's just gambling. And for an image of what this looks like, let me pull up an image. So first, the timing. The idea here is to go 14 days before earnings. The E represents the earnings event. 14 days before earnings and bet on this pre-earnings optimism in a very specific way. We're not buying a naked call. We're actually using a spread. Remember I said every trade here is a spread. But this is the general idea. How do we benefit from this and then get out before earnings? We don't want the surprise move off of earnings. This is not a gamble. This is a back-tested strategy looking at pre-earnings optimism. 15.6% per week. And what would we do now? Well, you guys know already. You sort by average trade return, and you check the ones that have worked the best. Right, here we go. Here's Pepsi. Here's Apple, 5 wins and no losses. Here's Microsoft, 3 wins and no losses. Here's Biogen. Just keep going down the list. We get to Google, 2 wins and 1 loss. We get to Zscaler. We get to Team. So we check the ones we want. We click Add Alert. You know the drill by now. Everything will automatically be loaded in for you, and all you have to do is click Add Alert. We only added 8 alerts here, but I was just going quickly. This is for demonstration purposes. There's more than 8. And then what happens if we want to try a different portfolio? What if we want to try a different type of stock, right? Not just tech stocks. Well, we'll just choose it. This time we'll do healthcare. And when I do healthcare, I've already got it preloaded. Okay, here are the results preloaded for healthcare with the pre-earnings diagonal. And you can see in this industry, win rate is 54% and the average trade return is 5% over a week. This is an industry where I would just not do these trades, right? So I wanted to show an example that nothing works all the time, doesn't work in every industry. This is a trade, this pre-earnings diagonal, right? This pre-earnings optimism speculation in an industry, healthcare, which actually doesn't work very well. When I see something like this, I say, oh, okay, that's no problem. This year, I'm not gonna do these trades. It's not that there aren't some that did well or didn't do well. I wanna make sure there's strength across the board. And if there is, then I'm willing to cherry pick the best. All right, guys, I'm gonna bring that slide back, right? I said I would do these 4 strategies. I've shown you this one. I've shown you this one. You can figure out how to do these, right? You just pull it from a drop-down menu, right? I've shown you something that does not work. And friends, that's it. This is TradeMachine. This is the plan. It's a full plan, right? I said you need a process, patience, and effort. This is the process. You find the strategy. Maybe it's pre-earnings optimism. Maybe it's when a stock is collapsing. Then those are the technical triggers. Is there anything else special about it? This one does have something special about it. It's only 14 days before earnings. It's not just when the stock's above the 50-day moving average and our AI triggers. It's also 14 days before earnings. That's the process. That's the plan. The patience is taking the time to do this, add the alerts, and have patience with yourself. Not every trade wins every time. That's not the idea. The patience is about you. It's personal. And finally, the effort. The effort to learn the trades, to understand the trades, before you even get near them. Please don't ever do a trade from any service ever in any industry in any form if you don't understand what you're risking, what you could make, what it means to you. And don't worry, TradeMachine is here to help. If you go to community, you get live chat help right away in the community from a former market maker or from other traders. And if you don't like using live help or community, you go to the Learn tab. And let's say we just wanted to learn what that spread the sell-off thing was. I know I showed an image of it, but it wasn't really clear. Like, okay, well, what is spread the sell-off? I want, legitimately, I'm willing to put in the effort. Please help me understand it. Just type in spread the sell-off. It's the first thing that comes up. And all of a sudden, you'll get yourself a full video just on this strategy. Really dedicated to how the strategy works, why you would do it, why you wouldn't do it, what the risks are, how it works in which industries, and when. And friends, this is the end of our webinar. I cannot show you everything TradeMachine can do. That wasn't the point. The point was that no matter what happens, now that we're at the end of the webinar, you have learned something about a process, about patience, about effort, what a process means, how one could be done, what patience means, what a portfolio of trades means, what risk management means, and how TradeMachine can do this for you. The process part, the planning part, that's TradeMachine. The patience and the effort, that's on you. TradeMachine can help with the community and with the Learn tab. You have to decide for yourself, is this something where you like the idea of it, or is this something that you want to do? Be kind to yourself, honor yourself. It's not a character flaw if you don't want to do this. But if you want to be a successful trader, it's going to come back to the slides. Process, patience, and effort. Effort, it's probably going to be harder than you think it will be, but because of that, it's probably going to be more satisfying than you think it will be.